It might shock you to hear this, but Donald Trump is back to doing rallies. He was shot out of a cannon yesterday. Rampant speculation that Donald Trump is still under the influence of steroids because he did seem manic. And I have to tell you, I have never seen Donald Trump speak this quickly or act as manically or maniacally. Choose which one you like, as he did last night. But we will get to that because first I have to set the context for you. Donald Trump, who reportedly only first tested negative for coronavirus since having it, on the flight to Sanford, Florida, did a mass rally yesterday in the state of Florida, which, as you can see if you're watching along with me, very few masks even on the stage behind Donald Trump. Essentially no masks among the crowd, not on the stage right behind him. They do not care. Much the same way that Trump's rallies aren't politics. They're more like sporting events. Trump's crowds are not connected to the reality of a global pandemic. It is not just some of their ideas that are in the 1950s. Their day to day is 9 months stale from when we didn't have a pandemic. Usually, at least the people on the screen behind Trump, on the stage who are on screen behind Trump, are told you have to wear masks. Here, more than half of the people, even on stage visible behind Trump, didn't have masks on. And then before we get into some of the specifics, just a little bit about the atmospherics. Aside from the barely any masks situation and no social distancing whatsoever, Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis was at the rally without a mask, high-fiving rally goers, touching everybody's hands. We have video of it that we've been showing our audience as if once again, there's been no global pandemic raging for the last 8 months now. You really have to see it to believe it. So that's the context in which this rally is happening. Maskless Republican governor high-fiving people, no social distancing, very few masks, a recently COVID positive president delivering a speech. Now on to the speech. Donald Trump appeared completely manic. Now, the speculation, of course, is that it's still the dexamethasone or simply that Trump was given a steroid so that he would have more energy for the rally. He did seem tired towards the end, struggling more to project his voice and breathe, but he was out of control. Trump, again, alluding to the consequences of crimes that still have not yet been enumerated by Obama, Biden, and Hillary. Bizarre, dystopian, authoritarian moment. Take a look.
Because we are doing more for this country than any administration has ever done, despite the witch hunts and the phony stuff that we caught them on now. We caught them cold, and we'll see what happens with that. Just watch. Stay tuned.
So, of course, this is completely authoritarian strongman. Trump last week said that Joe Biden should be indicted. And Trump still has not been able to tell us what laws were broken by Barack Obama, by Joe Biden, by Hillary Clinton. The crowd doesn't care. The crowd loves it. Trump then referred to his campaign as a campon in another one of these verbal glitches, and you'll see this one take shape very quickly.
We achieved all of this despite the fact that we caught them cold. They were spying on our campaign. It's our campaign. It's our campaign, not my campaign.
Trump did that thing there where his brain realizes that what's coming out of his mouth doesn't make any sense. So he sort of just stops short and restarts a different sentence. We've seen it happen at this point, dozens and dozens of times. Trump then again with this entire, we're going to take care of them after the election. Horribly authoritarian, and it actually leads to chants of lock them up. Again, a sort of a staple of the Trump rally, calling for the jailing without due process of Trump's political adversaries. Take a look.
But we'll take care of it all after the election. We caught them cold. We caught them cold. Bad people, crooked Hillary. And by the way, Obama and Biden knew everything that was happening, okay, just in case you had any questions. We'll take care of it after the election. Joe Biden and the Democrat socialists, but that gives you another reason to go out and vote. We got to get in. Because we don't, they'll just sweep it under the rug.
You also hear, in addition to lock them up, Trump again referring to Biden as a socialist. We had a good phone call about this last week from someone saying, during live calls, a young lady called in and said, listen, my family believes Joe Biden's a socialist. When I try to talk to them about the election, they say that Joe Biden's a socialist. Her family's Cuban. We're going to be like Cuba. It's going to be like Castro again. And I don't know what to say when they say that. Whenever someone says Biden is socialist, the first question must be, which socialist policies is Biden advocating for? Usually that will short circuit like 95%, 19 out of 20 of those diatribes, and they'll move on to something else. Because the answer is obviously Biden is not advocating for any socialist policies, much to the chagrin of actual socialists who want a further left Democratic presidential candidate. But doesn't matter. Facts don't matter. All that matters is feelings at Trump's rally. Trump then taking his anger out on the media. Here he is saying that the media are the sickest of them all.
These people are the sickest of them all.
Turning an entire crowd against reporters and camera people in the back of the room is very strongman dictatorish. It really is. And I'm sure you all know that. And then this moment, totally wild, Trump saying he feels so good. And again, this could be the steroids talking. Dexamethasone and other steroids can make you euphoric. Trump saying he feels so damn good that COVID Trump wants to go into the audience and kiss the men and the attractive women. Take a look at this.
But if you want to get out there, get out. One thing with me, the nice part, I went through it. Now they say I'm immune. I feel so powerful. I'll walk into that audience. I'll walk in there. I'll kiss everyone in that audience. I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women and everybody. I'll just give you a big fat kiss. No, but there is something nice. I don't have to be locked up in my basement, and I wouldn't allow that to happen anyway.
So that's Trump's manic upper voice, which we've come to recognize. It's at a 12 since he's been on whatever medications he's been on for coronavirus. Trump continuing to mock Joe Biden, by the way, for having safe events. Trump ridiculing Biden while he being Trump, has super spreader events.
These are the real polls. So when did you hear about this meeting? Like a day ago? These are the real polls, right? The other guy gets out there and they work and work and work, and 30 people show up. They put them in those crazy circles, right? They only have the circles because that's the only way they can fill up the room. It's true.
Trump himself appears to have caught coronavirus at an event he organized at the White House for Amy Coney Barrett. And he's laughing at Joe Biden. He laughed at him during the debate for wearing masks. He's now laughing at Joe Biden for having small, socially distant campaign events. And the crowd just loves it. The crowd is cheering the guy who caught coronavirus at one of his own events for saying the other guy's events aren't full of people during a pandemic. It's backwards. Everything that's happening is completely backwards. And there was I'm not going to play the clip for you for this next clip, but there was another hilariously ignorant moment during the rally where if you watched behind Trump, there were people with Blacks for Trump shirts. There were people with Latinos for Trump shirts. There were some Puerto Rico shirts, Puerto Ricans for Trump. And Trump said at one point, Puerto Rico better vote for me. Now, of course, Puerto Rico doesn't vote in the presidential election because it's not a state. I would love for Puerto Rico to be a state. Many on the left would love for Puerto Rico to be a state. Trump still confused about Puerto Rico, even at this late stage in the game. These rallies are going to continue this week. I'll be covering both Trump and Biden events this week. Also an update. Debate number 2 was scheduled for Thursday when the Commission on Presidential Debates said, we'll do it virtual because Trump has COVID. Trump said no. Then the debate has been canceled altogether. The latest is that Joe Biden will be doing a 90-minute town hall and that Trump is pursuing a competing town hall. We don't know if it will be back to back on different networks at the same time on different networks. I don't know, but I'm here. We are here through Election Day. So I will be covering whatever it is that ultimately happens. I want to take a second to tell you about one of our sponsors, S&H Masks. S&H Masks has everything you need when it comes to face masks and other protective gear for COVID-19, and they're giving my audience 20% off. S&H Masks is the company that I've personally been going to for face masks. I love and trust the products they sell, and that's actually why I reached out to them about being a sponsor. I've tried tons of different face masks this year, like many of you, and I still have not found a mask that is more comfortable or easier to breathe in than the washable cotton masks that they sell. It's made of a silky, lightweight cloth that feels great on the skin, has a convenient adjustable strap, and it features a disposable 5-layer particle filter made of activated carbon. They also have disposable cloth masks, which are really comfortable, as well as all of the other gear like face shields, alcohol wipes, no-touch infrared thermometers. And all of their prices are very reasonable. I also love S&H Masks because they've donated over 60,000 masks to healthcare institutions. They're an excellent company. Shipping is just $5 and shipping is free on orders over $150. You can get there by going to davidpakman.com/mask. The link is under this video, and you can save 20% on everything in their store when you use the coupon code DAVID.